Hey guys, Muncheez here and welcome to another ZZZ video, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Infinite Abyss. Now when you get this is available at Enter Not level 40. It's not actually infinite, there's only 99 floors, but when you get towards that 99th floor, you get all the rewards, which is like these Elite Investigator supply box, so you get like XP for your character's weapons and all that, and you get a whole bunch of dennies as well. So I'm going to kind of go over how to make it all the way down to the bottom floor and kind of some tips and stuff that you can use. So the main goal of this is to not let your pressure build all the way up to the end where like there's that yellow, or not the yellow star, but the purple star. You don't want to have 5 abnormalities on your guy. And to keep that down, you're going to have to like wash yourself at like the blue TV screens or use the potions that reduce pressure. Now, every time you go through a floor or you do certain events and things like that, you will get these things called Bang Boo plugins. And these Bang Boo plugins, essentially what they do is whatever tile you're on and you use it on that tile. So say you use this on one of the cleansing tiles on one floor, you will be able to carry that cleansing tile onto the next floor. Now the placement of that tile is going to be RNG, it's going to be mixed, so like it can go anywhere. So if I carried the blue tile onto a different floor, it'll show up. So I kept this one just as an example. So you see how it came back on this floor. So you can carry tiles from one floor to the other. So when you're going through this, you want to try and carry over the tiles that are the most beneficial to you when you're going through this, because at every 5th floor, you're going to also get a boss room, as well as like some bonus things you can pick up and things of that sort. And some of the basic things of this is like when you walk on the red routes, every time you walk through a route or anything of that sort, you're gonna build up like 10 pressure. And there's even mini games and stuff like that. You can go and do the mini games every time you walk on a square, basically, unless it's like one of the really dangerous squares, you have a chance of getting more than 10 pressure. You would try to stay away from those squares as much as possible. And this is going to be like one of the 5th floors, so they all have this kind of same layout. And what the layouts have is you'll have places to get gear coins, places to cleanse your pressure, and there is also an NPC that allows you to remove an entire abnormality off of you. And there's also a save point on these floors, which is this carrot card right here. Now I'm going to utilize the guy that clears the abnormalities off of you. So as you go down further and further, it'll get more and more expensive. So as you can see here, this one cost me 4,500 gear coins, and it removes an entire corruption off of you. So you will be cleansed of 1. So it kind of gives you more leeway as you're moving down through the abyss. Now, I'm kind of just going to go over the key things to be aware of when you're going through this. So to get to 99, you want to make your thumbtacks, the Bang Boo plugins. You want to use these mainly for like the blue squares and stuff like that. So after you pick one up and you use it on the floor of like the same level, so like I just did there, you see how it's locked? That is going to get carried over and placed randomly somewhere on my next floor, and it's up there still. So it's going to allow you to have more spaces to where you can actually cleanse your acquired pressure from the stages as you're like moving out throughout the stage. So as you can see here, I have like a risky transaction here, right? So I know that I'm about to get rid of another 30 of my corruption. So I kind of go through, I look at my options, and then I pick one, and this is 50 pressure. So it's 50 in the 20 that I had. So now I have 70. Every time you pick one up, you will get rid of 30, and then these potions as well, they remove 40 when you use them, so they're in your inventory. So when you go into your inventory tab, you can go and use these potions, and they will remove 40 of your pressure. As you can see here, I go in my inventory, use it, boom, 40 gone. And the last thing to kind of take note of is every 5 floors, it'll offer you the event right next to like where you spawn, to where you can remove one of the abnormalities on your character. So at the beginning, it's like relatively cheap. It's like maybe like 3,000 or so. But once you get down to like the later floors, it'll start costing like 16,000. So you can't really abuse it per se. So you have to kind of pick and choose when you want to get rid of it. So usually when I got to like 3 or 4, I would try to collect gear coins to where I would have enough to cleanse an abnormality off me to where I don't have to worry about hitting that 5th abnormality, because once you hit that 5th abnormality, your run ends and you're not going to make it to the end. Now, some general tips and dangers to look out for. So basically every time you step on a tile, you'll get 10 pressure, regardless of kind of like what it is, except for like the blue ones. The blue tiles, when you step on them, I want to say they remove 40, but you gain 10 for stepping on them, but I'm not too sure about that. But for the most part, when you step on a blue tile, you'll get rid of 30 pressure. Now, the striped screens and the purple screens, you want to stay away from these, because when you step on them, unless you absolutely have to like get to an exit or something of some sort, they can possibly just ramp your pressure all the way up and just give you an abnormality or just do something crazy. So just try and avoid these. And if there's a red screen with like a danger sign on it, basically what that does is you'll still gain 10 pressure, but it'll also harm your characters. Like I think all your characters will lose like 5 or 10% health or something like that. And also for the blue cleansing screens, if you have to go through one and you're at like 0-0, like you're zeroed out on your pressure, try and like go around the map if there is anything to collect power-ups and whatnot, and utilize it so when you walk through it, you can get rid of some accumulated pressure, because once you leave that floor, you're not going to be able to go back and get it anyway. Now, there's also a lot of like little events that you can go to. You can like gamble your Bangbu plugins, and there's some mini games. There's like a quiz game. If you step on a quiz game, they're kind of worth doing, because if you get the question right, you get some extra Bangbu plugins. So the quiz events are highly worth doing, but they are just time wasters. And if there's a shop there, usually the shops are like risky transaction shops, meaning they'll sell you power-ups, but it's at the cost of pressure. So unless there's like a immediate blue square nearby or anything like that to where you can cleanse the pressure that you just got from that, the shops are kind of bait in my opinion. So when it comes down to it, it's all about managing your pressure bar and your abnormalities. You basically just want to make sure that you're not needlessly using your Bangbu plugins, which are the thumbtacks, or like the potions. You always kind of want to wait and see what you get when you go on the floor. Don't just use a potion unless like you're really close towards the end or something. Then yeah, sure, go ahead and use the potion. But usually what you want to do is you want to go on to select the next floor, see if there's any like blue squares around you, because if you have that, you don't have to use the potion, because those potions are very valuable, because they will remove 40 off of your pressure instantly, no matter what tile you're on. So there was a lot of things that they put into here that I also didn't mention, like things like the monster squares and things of that sort. But for the most part, the things that I went over are the things you want to be cognizant of. This is kind of this was actually very hardcore in my opinion for something for them to have put it into an exploration mission. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns like that, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with this. Hopefully some of the information in here was useful to you. I know this is a little bit longer of a video than I normally do, but yeah, that's it. And don't forget to like and sub on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.